Up front tonight, Democratic Congressman David Cicilline of Rhode Island. He's also a member of the House Judiciary Committee, so I know you have a whole lot of requests into a lot of people related to this and other matters. Let me just start off, though, with the letter from the Oversight Committee Chairman Elijah Cummings, which Sunlen and I were just discussing. So he's saying Kushner is using private messaging, WhatsApp, and using the present tense to speak with foreign leaders. As I point out, there's only one reason people use this app, particularly in other parts of the world where there is heavy scrutiny, and I can say, certainly my experience in the Middle East, people use it because they don't want it to be traced. That's why people use it. What's your reaction when you hear Jared Kushner was using it? Well, and communicating with the Saudi Crown Prince, and the Saudi Crown Prince, we understand, is one of the people he's communicating with.
Right. This may well be a violation of the Presidential Records Act, but this is very serious. We should remember Jared Kushner was alleged to have tried to attempt to set up a back communication with the Russians during the transition, if you remember that reporting. We also know that both Ivanka and Jared were denied, or serious questions were raised by the intelligence and law enforcement communities about their security clearance. The president overruled those objections and directed that they be given, and then lied about it. And now we know about communications with foreign leaders that may be untraceable. This is very concerning. Not only is it potentially a violation of the Records Act, but it also raises questions about what is he communicating about and why does it need to be kept secret? What are these communications about, and why is he concerned that they not be shared with in normal government channels? So Mr. Cummings' request is a reasonable one. The Oversight Committee has responsibility to figure out what's going on here, to make sure this practice ends, and to make sure the national security of the interests of the United States have not been compromised in this process.
I mean, we don't even know, right? I mean, Abby Lowell is not denying that Jared Kushner used the app to transmit classified information. He's not even denying that. And obviously the context
here... that was the...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that was the most alarming part. When he was pressed, well, was classified information shared in this way? He said, oh, that's above my pay grade. So he didn't deny it. So now we have the very real potential that some of the most secretive classified information that Jared Kushner perhaps shouldn't have had access to begin with is now being shared with foreign leaders in an unsafe way and for a purpose that is unclear. So this is very serious. This is not just about the personal behavior of Jared Kushner. It's about protecting the national security interests of our country.
Is this something, so obviously it's been reported that officials from at least 4 countries viewed Kushner as manipulative, someone they could manipulate, right? Those include the United Arab Emirates, Russia, China. We know he communicated, according to our reporting on this and perhaps other apps, with the Saudi Crown Prince, right? President of the United States taking the Crown Prince's side over that of the CIA in that horrific murder. What happens here from this? I mean, because it would seem if you're using WhatsApp, whether you're screen grabbing some of it or not, or all of it, we don't know. The message you're sending to the other party is that you're willing to do something secret, because otherwise you wouldn't be using WhatsApp.
That's right. And don't forget, there's also the issue of the company that saved Jared Kushner's property on Fifth Avenue is now attempting to sell nuclear technology to the Saudis. So there's a lot of reason to be concerned about what is actually being shared, what's the reason for it, why is it being kept secret. And, you know, one of the reasons that the intelligence and law enforcement communities raise concerns about the security clearances is because they worry that people can be compromised, that they have some motivation to advance their own personal interests rather than the national security interests of the country. And so they limit who can get a security clearance to those people they can have confidence will protect these secrets of the United States that are essential to protect our national security. There are real questions about both Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump's ability to get these security clearances, and now his willingness to secretly share information with foreign leaders, and we don't know what that information is. This is an absolutely critical area of oversight. Mr. Cummings' committee and other committees of jurisdiction will get to the bottom of it.
And of course, you know, I want to point out, we've reported, right, that the president overrode the concerns of intelligence officials and granted Jared Kushner that security clearance when the intelligence officials did not want to do so. I want to ask you about the...
And lied about it. And you have to wonder, why did they lie about it?
Right. I mean, this is and obviously these documents, they're not handing that over. They refused to do so thus far. And today also refusing to hand over information that your committee, House Foreign Affairs, has requested. You got a letter from the White House counsel today saying, forget it, we're not going to give you the information, anything that we know about Vladimir Putin conversations with the president, that they know, right? I mean, some of those conversations literally no one was present for, but the two of them, so who knows? only the Russians have the information. But they're saying it's executive privilege. Presidents should be able to have a conversation with a foreign leader and not have to have it released. Don't they have a point?
Well, you know, in normal circumstances, they would have a point, but this is not a normal set of circumstances. This is a president who stood in Helsinki and took the side of Vladimir Putin against the members of his own intelligence community and said he believed him when he said the Russians had nothing to do with interfering or attacking an American presidential election. This is a president who is attacking John McCain and can't say a nice word about anybody, but can't manage to say one critical thing about Vladimir Putin, is having secret conversations with him, throwing out the interpreter, taking away notes. This is not normal. And to begin an effort to understand what were those conversations about, what documents exist that might record what they were about, is perfectly reasonable. We have oversight responsibility on the Foreign Affairs Committee. I'm on the Oversight Subcommittee. We have a responsibility to oversee and to hold this administration accountable, and we're going to do it.
All right. Thank you very much, Congressman Cicilline. Appreciate your time.